Thank you for starting with me. I'm still having a bit of trouble dealing with what's happening out there right now. Um, Part of it is that I guess I'm feeling some anxiety, and I think I'm feeling the collective anxiety of what's happening out there with people.
Okay.
So if you could provide some help with that, that would be great. Um, the other thing that I'm still trying to just work out for myself is the situation that has been going on with my parents. So most of my friends, like my age group, younger, a little bit older, everybody's working from home, and my parents got themselves part-time jobs at Home Depot, which is great under normal circumstances because it keeps them occupied and out there doing something. Uh, but they are still working right now, and somehow they think that what's going on does not apply to them,
Mhm.
and they refusing to really take any precautions. So I've been feeling very stressed out over that.
Okay. So with the first part, remember that everyone has their stories and all our stories are interacting. So people are constantly throwing their stories at you and you're constantly throwing your stories out to other people. So in this time where everyone's in anxiety, in panic, in I don't know what the emotion for isolation would be, loneliness, those stories are all circulating. So it's going to hit you. So what you want to do is keep checking in. Is that my story? Right. And when you ask the question, if the feeling or the energy or the thoughts shift in any way, it's not yours. So you're just like, no, you know what? I'm stepping out of that story. It's not mine. I don't have to deal with it. And you'll be surprised how powerful this thing can be, because, there's so much out there that you don't have to deal with, but we think we do because we just assume it's ours. I've gotten to a point now where I'll be doing something and I'll feel a little pain. And rather than going, ooh, what pain is that? Like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, okay, whose story is that? Right? Because you can physically get a pain from someone else that's not even near you, just someone out there. And you're like, oh, and then if it shifts, I'm like, okay, it's not mine. I'm stepping out of it, and the pain will go away. Right? If I suddenly get into anxiety, whose story is that? I step out of that anxiety. So you can do this over and over and over again. Jeez,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just got a little distracted. It's like a whole bunch of orders for this call came through. So people are still getting tickets. So get with that practice and notice what you think you're dealing with that you don't have to deal with.
Okay. And so I do get that, but in some ways, I think some of the story is mine because I am genuinely concerned about my parents. So I
Okay.
feel like I have some of my own anxiety about that.
Okay.
But then I'm also,
Your parents was a separate thing. We were just talking. You started
yes,
in
yes. But
general.
what I'm saying in general, dealing with stuff that's going on out there. So what I'm saying is that I think some of it is mine because I'm genuinely concerned about them. Um, but then I know I'm physically very sensitive, and so I think a lot of the other stuff is not mine, that I am just feeling what's going on out there, and it's been a little bit difficult to like distinguish between what's mine and what's not mine, and how like letting go of what's not mine, and I've really felt it. Like I'm feeling very tired, and I know anxiety can do that to me, and I mean the tiredness has been like it doesn't make any sense like as to how tired I am, because I'm sleeping okay, I'm eating okay, it's just I'm feeling like exhausted some days. So I know that some
Are
of it is
you taking on other people's anxiety?
I might be, for sure.
Okay. Do you have to?
I don't want to.
That's not what I asked. Do you have to?
No, I don't.
See, that's not coming up as true. So deep down, you believe you have to take on other people's crap. What
Okay.
benefit do you get by taking on other people's crap?
Logically, none. But, you know,
Do you like?
um,
Are you an empath?
I think so, yeah.
Do you like being an empath?
In some ways, yes.
Okay. Do you take pride in being an empath?
Sure.
Okay. So it's all coming up true. So do empaths have to take on other people's stuff to be
Yeah.
of value?
No, again, logically, I don't believe that they do.
Okay. And you're going into resistance now. So I can feel
Yeah,
the pushback.
because like it's two sides of it, right? Logically, I can see that no, the answer would be no, but
Okay.
at the same time, it happens. Like,
Okay. And this is the one thing with people that pride themselves on being empathic. There's a couple things that are at play there. Number one, to be a really great empath, you've got to be able to feel much more sensitively and sense more people and take more things on. And that's statements from ego, so that you can be a great empath. So are you willing to destroy the belief that to be a good empath, you have to take other people's crap on?
yes.
The other thing that happens with empaths is there is a false belief out there that to be empathic, you have to feel what other people are feeling. But you can just be aware of what other people are feeling without taking it on, without feeling any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and that really makes you a much more effective empath, because then you can deal with all sorts of emotions and never get affected by it.
No, for sure.
Okay. So are you willing to destroy the belief that to truly be an empath, you have to feel everything and not just be aware of everything?
Yes.
Ooh, some energy there.
And how would that differentiate in the body, like when you're feeling it versus just being aware of it?
So it can play out different ways. Like with me, I'll start to feel something and just realize, okay, that's me trying to be an empath. And I'm just like, okay, whose story is that? I'll let it go and the feeling will go away. Or when I'm dealing with you guys, like if I feel the resistance, I can feel that feeling like you're throwing daggers at me. I can turn that off anytime I want, but I use it to get a gauge of the intensity of what's going on. That just works for me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, I technically could just do it completely from awareness, but I don't know, for me, it's kind of fun going, oh, wow, look at the amount of effort you're putting to push me away. Oh. So it's a thing that once you notice it's there, if you're starting to feel it, just switch it over to awareness and then deal with it. And eventually you'll just be functioning from feeling whatever you want and awareness from whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll get easier and easier. It'll become more and more of your habit and your way of being if you keep practicing it.
Okay.
At first, it can be difficult because you're used to feeling everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for your parents, the issue there is they're living from their belief systems and you want them to live from your belief system. And so, there's a lot of judgment going on there.
Yeah.
You can offer up advice and suggestions, but ultimately you have to be in acceptance of where they are. And, because they're not going to change just because you decide your beliefs are better than their beliefs. The interesting thing is if you're not pushing against them, if you're not into resistance, but you're just being there for them, then and being solid in your beliefs, not pushing your beliefs, but being solid in this is what my beliefs are, then in those situations, because you're constantly sharing stories with people, they can end up buying your story. But when you're trying to force a story onto them, they resist.
Mm.
So what they're doing could end up being sick, absolutely. But you trying to force them to not do what they think they should be doing is not going to do anything for them. It's just going to create more turmoil for you.
And that's what's been kind of happening. And now that you're saying this, I really realize it's not just like my pushing my beliefs on them. It's basically the whole family is pushing it on them, because everybody seems to be taking it seriously except for the two of them.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not just getting it from me, they're getting it from like everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're resisting so much. And
well, think about it. If you really want to do something and everyone's telling you, no, don't do it, do you just go, oh, you know what, fine, I won't do it, even though I really want to do it? Or do you push back harder and harder?
Yeah, no, for sure. It makes sense. Total sense.
Yeah. That's what's going on.
Okay.
Okay. How are you feeling?
You know what? The first part of the conversation moved some things. That was great. And how I'm feeling about this whole thing, I don't know. I'm still concerned.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could be concerned. You love your parents and you don't want them to get sick, but they're ultimately making choices for their reality.
Yep.
Right. And all you can do is offer your point of view to them without pushing it and seeing if they'll end up buying your story.
Yep. All right.
Unless you physically want to grab them and quarantine them and lock them up. I wouldn't recommend that.
No, of course not.
But it's a tough thing, because here's people that you love and they're exposing themselves to a dangerous virus.
Yeah.
Right? It's also, and I'm gonna have to tread really lightly on this thing. If their belief system is truly deep down to the core that they'll be okay, then their reality will cause them to only be in contact with people that aren't infected, right?
Yeah.
But if you have even a little bit of, oh, well, maybe I might get infected, right? You can't just say, okay, I'm not going to get infected, and suddenly you won't get infected. It's got to be down to the core without any resisting beliefs for that kind of reality to show up for you. And they may be there. You don't know. You don't know what's going on in their belief systems underneath. But they could be doing their part-time job and come out of it fine, and then look at all you guys going, wow, you were so worried. What the hell? We're fine. Right?
Yeah. And you know what? The only issue with that logic is that, like, my mother has told me that she's so worried about her husband, my stepfather, and you know, it's like, you're worried about him. What about you?
Yeah.
You know, like, how is it like? And she understands. She'll be like, oh, you know, such and such person, they have cancer and they're going for chemo treatments. So I get, like, they can't be around anybody. But she's the cardiac, you know, patient. So when you look at the chart, she's basically at the top of the list of the riskiest group. So she can understand it for other people and just doesn't, like, want to apply it to herself. So I don't know if their beliefs are, as you said, you know, to the core. Because if she's worried about him, then obviously there's something.
If she's worried about him, then she's not down to the core. So, and this is not to get you worried. It's just stating what's going on with her.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Okay. So, as I said, just be in your story without pushing them, and you can have those conversations and explain it from your point of view, and they can buy into your story.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, this is Shiraz, and if you made it this far, please click like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. And if you would like shifts like the person in the video, subscribe to our monthly magic program. The link is in the description. You will get monthly coaching as well as emails going out to help boost your vibration, your wealth, your success, and as well as a lot of other perks. And remember, be well, be aware, and be magical.